and Tasty Cakes podcast. I'm Bert Lepore. He's Samuel Monte Carlo. We're hanging here with Angry Mike D, and we talk about music, movies, and so much more.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Blast off.
That was all weird. That was all weird. It was like
Blast off.
Damo.
We're back with another episode of Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes, episode 126.
That's right, Jack.
This one, we're reviewing the new Heaven's Edge record, Get It Right.
Yeah.
And it's a third record released on Frontiers Records, which they do like a lot of the 80s hard rock bands. That's an Italian-based label, or label based in Italy. And yeah, I mean, they put out stuff from I mean, you name it. If a band came out in the 80s, hard rock band from the 80s came out and they're still around, Frontiers probably put out the record.
Is that the label that does the George Lynch and Michael Sweet stuff? Is that the same label?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, they do all that. They do all like the super group bands like that. You know, they'll do, I think they did like a few Whitesnake records. You know, everybody from Heaven's Edge, Enough's Enough, Whitesnake, bands like that.
From that era, yeah.
Yeah. All the bands that you would see on like the Monster Rock Cruise and M3s.
Gotcha.
So bands.
So basically they're an oldies label.
Yeah. If you want to call it classic rock, you know.
Yeah.
Classic, yeah.
I'm just
you get it.
We got to settle into this oldies thing at some point, you know?
Yeah. Yeah,
they start calling Motley Crue classic rock. It's weird.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird.
But so that's basically what it is. And it's their third record. The second record, I don't know if you want to really consider that like a real record personally. I think like first 5 or 6 songs on that album, Some Other Place, Some Other Time, are like professionally recorded, and I think everything after that is like demos, and there's like maybe 15 songs on that.
So it's more of an extended play
compilation.
Compilation.
Yeah. And I do like a lot of those songs. I remember getting that when it came out through like Paris Records or one of those import labels. But so this is like their first real full-length album since the debut, really.
What was the debut? 89 or 90? 90.
I think it was 90.
Maybe it's 90.
Wow.
Yep.
If
So
it was 89, it was probably like, let me look that up.
I think it's 90.
Yeah, I kind of feel like it was 92. 90 also.
Was it
90 also? Yeah, not 92. 90
Yeah.
also.
Not 92, you know what I mean? Let me just look this up just to be correct here. 89.
89. I probably tell him the 89.
Yeah.
All right, so we have a new rating system here. So I'll put up the little chart. And this is the new rating system. It's going to be 1 to 10 is the rating system now, because 1 to 5 was kind of like there was really no room, no wiggle room there. So if a song
wiggle room.
Yeah, if a song scores 1 to 4.9, it's not for me. Not that good. Anything from 5 to 6.9 is average. Anything 7 to 7.9 is good. Anything 8 to 8.4 is real good. Anything 8.5 to 9.5 is great. And 9.6 to 10 is perfect, which is almost impossible. But so
what did you have as perfect?
rating bar here. What's that, Damo?
What was
10.
9.6
10's perfect.
10? Okay.
9.6 to 10. You got to give a little fucking leg room here.
Yeah.
So so that's our new chart. That's our new rating system. Breaking ground with this new score bar. The score bar. Let's get into this, Damo.
All right, so what are we going from? So basically,
we're gonna go we're gonna go from what we think is the
least favorite to
our least favorite song to our favorite song. Least doesn't mean bad, just least favorite to our favorite. There's 10.
How many tracks? There's 10 tracks.
10 tracks.
Yeah, basically, each of us, we rated each song, and then we came up with an average tally for each one, and that's how we ranked all of them. So collectively, we'll start at number 10.
There we go.
Right.
Damo, why don't you take it out? Number 10 comes in. Raise him up. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, I gave this a 7 out of 10. I did like this one. It had a really cool groove with between the bass and the drums, I thought. And yeah, I actually like a lot of cool drum parts, I thought. And yeah, the groove I really liked on this tune.
Mike D, what do you got? Raise him up.
I gave this one an 8. I really like this track. The drums, the bass on this, just it wasn't like your I don't know, run of the mill song. It kind of had more of a feel good tone to it if you listen deep inside of it. To me, at least.
Yep. I gave Raise 'Em Up a 7 out of 10. It's got a cool guitar intro. The verse is pretty good. The melody's decent in the verse. I dig the second part of the chorus even better than the first part of the chorus. It gets much better with each listening. The song definitely. It's got the Heaven's Edge distinctive sound in it, which is Mark's voice. You know, when Mark kind of hits the high part of his voice, it's so distinctive. It's almost like you could. It sounds like it's the top, but it's so distinctive. Like that's his sound to me. Yeah, it sounds great. Also, the part right before the guitar solo, I don't know if you've caught it. It's got a little bit of that skin to skin thing going on. It sounds like a little piece of skin to skin, which is kind of cool. Nice little.
No, I totally missed it.
Oh, well, I listen for that shit. So,
I mean, that could be why. Maybe that's why it kind of resonated with me too. You know. But,
yeah. Overall, it comes in at number 10 on the record for us, but it's a really good tune. There's not a bad tune.
If this is your worst track on the album, that's pretty damn good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Exactly. All right, Damo, we're gonna go into number 9, A Dirty Little Secret. What you got there, Damo?
Personally speaking, this was my least favorite one. I gave it 6 out of 10, only because to me, it, in my opinion, doesn't really sound like them. It kind of reminded me of like I don't want to say pop punk, but it reminded me of like the bands that came out like a circuit like 2000, like the Sum 41, Blink 182,
Lit.
Like Marvelous kind of 3, Lit. Yeah, like those bands. I think that's a bad thing. It just didn't. To me, I thought that song kind of stuck out from the whole pack of songs on this one. I didn't really, in my opinion, I just felt like it didn't really fit. So,
Mike D, what do you got for a Dirty Little Secret?
I mean, I thought it was a bit of a refreshing song. I kind of liked this song. It wasn't my favorite on there. I gave it a 7.5. But what's this? It kind of reminded me had a little Warrant feel to it.
I think so too. Yeah. Yep.
But yeah, it was pretty good.
Yeah, I gave Dirty Little Secret a 9. I like this one a lot. It does have a Warrant meets Lit kind of thing going on. It's very poppy. It could definitely be a song on a soundtrack of a movie. I think it's just a well-written pop song, even though it don't sound exactly like their sound. It's different than what you would expect, but I kind of like when bands do that stuff when they go out of the box a little bit. So, don't forget these guys haven't come out with a record, for like 30 years. So, in between, you create different styles. You learn different styles. You play around with different styles. So it was cool to throw on something like this. This came out in 2000. If it was lit or something, would have been a huge song. It would have been on every soundtrack. Yeah, Dirty Little Secret. It comes in 9 for us. I gave it a 9. I gave it a pretty high score. Okay, let's move on. Coming in at number 8, 9 Lives, My Immortal Life. What you got, Damo?
I gave this one 8 out of 10 personally. I liked it. Had that classic Heaven's Edge sound and feel, and definitely like a fun kind of live song. I could definitely see this one. I think this would fit really in with their live set. It's definitely like it has like that live song feel, and I think to me people would get into this if they threw it into their set.
Yep. Mike D, what do you got? 9 Lives.
Yeah, this is a pretty good song, man. I gave this a 7.5. It's a good, raise your fist type of song.
Yeah. Yeah, 9 Lives. I gave it a 7.5. It's not one of my favorite songs, but it's a straightforward banger. And like Damien, I wrote down actually on my notes, probably going to be a real fun song to play live. Not bad. It's okay. Probably going to be better live, though. Okay, guys, coming in at number 7. Gone. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, this is another good one. I gave this one an 8 as well. Got a cool, again, like the like Raise 'Em Up. It had a cool like bass and drum groove on the chorus. I mean on the verse, and which I really liked. Kind of let the vocals breathe and everything, and the chorus is really good.
Mike D, Gone. What do you got?
Yeah, man, this was a pretty good song. I gave this a number. I gave this a 7. A number 7.
Number 7. All right.
Yeah, I mean, it comes into it's a good rocker, man. Good rocking song.
Yeah, for me, I gave Gone an 8.5. It's got a real nice little guitar intro. The melody in the verse is really cool. The pre-chorus is really good. And I like the way the melody is for the part that Gone to Where That song. I really like that a lot. It's a solid tune. It's definitely a solid tune. I dig it. Okay, guys, moving on to number 6. Nothing Left But Goodbye. What you got, Damo?
Yeah, that's another one I dug. I gave it 8.5 out of 10. It's kind of got like a kind of like a blues metal kind of, like sort of like Cinderella or Tesla.
Oh, dude, that's exactly in my notes.
I
said the
was
same
just
thing.
Yeah,
it's totally
I
something
love
that would be off the Long Cold Winter
Long
record.
Cold Winter or something.
Yeah,
that's what it reminded me of. It kind of reminded me a little bit of Falling Apart at the Seams.
Yeah, it's got that feel.
The opening
I was
track,
actually thinking the same
right?
thing.
We all
that
wrote it
guitar
down,
part,
probably.
Yeah. That one lick.
Yeah.
Down.
Oh, yeah.
Just that part. But I love this slide guitar, and I'm almost positive it's got to be Steve, because he's like a master at all that stuff, all the slide bluesy type playing, which is a good contrast with
Reggie
playing like the shredder, kind of like fast shreddy stuff, and then Steve does all the bluesier stuff, which I really liked. And this one at the first listen, this song really stuck out because of all that. So yeah, I really dug it.
Cool. Mike D, what you got?
Yeah, man, I really like this one. I gave it a 7. There's nothing wrong with sounding like Cinderella. Nothing wrong at all about that.
Okay, so for me, I wrote down the same thing. I like the Cinderella-ish guitar in the beginning part, which is funny. We all got that. Chorus is real good. Overall, it's a good rock song. I really like the guitar part that fills in the space in between the chorus and the verse. I think it's pretty cool. And the acoustic breakdown is really good. So, yeah, overall, good song. I gave it an 8.25. Moving on to the top 5. Here we go, guys. Heaven's Edge, get it right. Top 5 songs from Mixtapes and Tasty Cakes. Number 5, I'm Not the One. What you got, Damo?
I gave this a 7.5 out of 10. It was a really, really good modern rock song. I thought definitely had more of a modern feel and everything. Something you could hear like on the radio or something.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely really good tune. And it closes out the record and probably the best choice.
Yep. Mike D, what you got?
Yeah, I agree with Damien. It definitely sounded different than the rest of the album. This was a hard hitter, man. Kind of the words didn't. I don't want to say it didn't match up, but the words are a little softer than what the music was. Like if you listen in, kind of. But it wasn't like. I'm not saying it didn't match, but this is a really good song. I gave this an 8.5.
Yeah. I'm not the one. I gave an 8.25. I dig everything about this song. This is the kind of song I like. Man, it's a great intro, really cool melody, but the vocals during the chorus is what makes it for me. The cadence of the way that it almost sounds halftime, the way he kind of breaks down the way that vocal part is.
Yeah, that's cool.
Man, it elevates them in my eyes, as far as writing goes. That's the kind of song I like to kind of write, is like something like that. The way the cadence isn't your typical thing. It's very fucking cool. It sounds like it slows down a little bit. Yeah, it's a really, really well written song. Great hook. The vocal delivery is fucking great on it. Yeah, real good. I like this one a lot. Okay, guys, moving on to number 4 was the first single that they released. Had Enough. What do you got, Damo?
Yeah, this one opens the record, and yeah, it's a great opener. Comes in with bass and drums, and then it kicks in. That intro and verse riff is it's pretty heavy, and it's got a cool pre-chorus. When the chorus comes in, it's like totally Heaven's Edge, big chorus and everything, and yeah, killer tune. I think I gave us like 9 out of 10.
Nice. Mike D, what do you got? Had Enough.
I love that bass, man, coming into this. It's like, it kind of reminds you like that old bass like you heard from the 80s and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I kind of knew at this point, you know what, maybe this is going to be pretty good after all, because I was kind of worried about like I bought the first album. I listened to that a lot. So this was kind of like, what was it, 30 years apart now?
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So you always got to wonder what you're going to get. But man, they sounded like they didn't miss a beat at all with this one. You could tell.
Yeah, not at all.
So I gave this a 7.
I gave Had Enough an 8.5 out of the gate. It was the first single. Very cool tune. I dig the lyrics. Jaron plays a cool ass bass riff in the beginning. Great tune. Great tune to start off the album with. Good verse melody, real good pre-chorus that works well with the chorus when it comes in with that shh kind of thing. Really cool guitar solo. Solid friggin' tune, man. Really good. I think it was a really good choice for the first single, too. I thought it was pretty perfect for that. Okay, guys, moving into the top 3. When the Lights Go Down. Damo, what you got?
Yeah, this is cool, like ballady tune. I think I gave this one like 8 out of 10, and kind of reminds me of kind of like the song that I wish Bon Jovi would write.
Yeah, my notes.
That's what it reminded me of, man. It's like, damn, man, I could hear like them doing that song, like modern post 2000 Bon Jovi. It reminded me of something that they would do, but they haven't. And that's a huge compliment, because they're one of my favorite bands and they're great songwriters, and I think it's a great tune.
Would you give it?
Me?
Yeah,
I gave it 8 out of 10. I said it
10.
already.
Okay. Oh, excuse me there. Excuse me, Mr. Excuse me, Mr. Monte Carlo. Excuse me, Mr. Monte Carlo. My bad. Told you. My bad. Damn. Mikey D, When the Lights Go Down.
I gave this one a 7. I probably could have been a little bit higher. I think where it landed on the album for me was like those 2 down tempo songs, kind of. And I'm really not a big softer, slow song guy, so But yeah, it was a good song. Kind of reminds you of a little Jovi going on there.
Yep. For me, I gave When the Lights Go Down a 10. Well written tune, good words, good melody. Definitely a Bon Jovi vibe with a touch of shine downs in there. It's got that little modern shine down thing going on in there. There's also 2 or 3 tunes on this record that should be a hit, and this is one of them. And you're probably gonna hear me say in the next 2. Yeah, this could have been. It still could be a hit. If people open up their fucking ears, you know what I mean? Could be a hit. Okay, guys, down to the top 2. Coming in at number 2, Beautiful Disguise. What you got, Damo?
This is like easily my favorite song, and probably like one of my favorite songs I've heard in a long, long time. 10 out of 10 doesn't even do it justice, man. I would give it 20 out of 20 or 100 out of 100. I like it that much. So basically, I was basing all the songs off of that one. Like that set the bar for me. When I was ranking all these songs, when I was giving them 7, 8, or whatever. So this song was like just fucking perfect. The I'm a sucker for songs that just kick in, and then the verse is like kind of like silent, not silent, kind of like low volume and just like driving, and then killer freaking chorus, man, when it kicks back in, and really super catchy, and probably one of the better songs. Probably one of their, if I had to pick a song out of their entire catalog, top 5, I would definitely put this in their top 5 songs that they've done. Out of everything, out of all the classic stuff, easily one of my favorites. And yeah, amazing job.
Mike D, what do you got on Beautiful Disguise?
Yeah, I gave this an 8, man. This was a good rocker, and I hate to try to compare it to stuff. With this it kind of reminds me of like a little bit like Dokken, and that's also not a bad thing. It has that sort of like Dokken kind of meets Def Leppard feel to me, if that makes any sense.
Yeah. Beautiful Disguise. I gave it a 9.5. I love this tune. Great vocal melody. And the guitar part in the verse is really cool too. Awesome pre-chorus. Really good catchy chorus. Solid tune. This is easily my second favorite also on the record. It's my second favorite on the record. Really good song, man. Really good song. I hope they push this one. It's a good tune. All right, coming in the first place here, the best song collectively on the record. What could have been? What you got, Damo?
I gave it 10 out of 10. Another great song. Could be a hit. I mean, it could be something that you hear on the radio today.
Yep.
Not something you hear on the radio 30 years ago. I mean, I think it could be like a modern radio hit. Just hits all the, everything you would want in like a radio song that I could just picture it on. And MMR has played it, I think, but I could hear it in like regular rotation. Very, very well written song. Really good. Great chorus and everything. I love those big choruses, like I said on the last one, it kind of has the same form, kind of like soft on the verse, and then the chorus, it peaks as it should. Someone told me like a great song should have like hills and valleys and peaks, like like you're driving in the countryside, and then that's your verse, and then you're coming up the mountain, and then that's your pre-chorus, and then you hit the top of the mountain, and that's your chorus. Everything's big, it all opens up. That's songwriting 101, and this one hits all those points.
Mike D, what do you got? What could have been?
I gave this an 8. I thought it was a really good song, and Damien already went through those peaks and valleys right there. So.
I gave it a 10. I gave it a 10 out of 10. No doubt for me, this is the hit. The song's perfect, pretty much. It's perfect for where they are right now as far as songwriters. The first words Mark sings says it all. The opening line says it all. If a major act like Bon Jovi put this out, it would sell 1 million copies. No doubt in my mind. No doubt in my mind.
Yeah.
It's got that feel. This is what bothers me with a lot of this stuff. And Damien knows I'm on the fence, but not on the fence, but it's both sides. It's not just the this is a hair metal band, and you can't listen to them because they're hair metal that's dated and all that. And then you got the flip side where the hair metal people can't listen to nothing but hair metal. Can't stand all that shit. It's like a good song is a good song. It doesn't have to fucking be anything. If it's good, it's good. Why can't it just be good? When you hear songs from people and all that stuff, you can't judge. You just judge it by the song. Doesn't matter if it was fucking Eminem that came out with it and it's a great song. Who cares? A great song's a great song. So
I wouldn't listen to it.
Yeah, well, you fall in that category. But it's really like even the radio stations and all, where they'll play. They won't play the new so and so song, but they'll play something that's from 1980. Give it a shot. You never fucking know. Give it a shot. You got to let stuff breathe, and people are going to find it on their own on the internet anyway. But all these radio stations, just like if Motley Crue comes out with a new song, they probably play it once or twice, and then they'll just keep playing the classic songs. The reason why them songs got played or became classics is because they got played. People heard them all the time.
Right.
Well, they got paid to play, though.
Whatever. Who cares? They got played.
And
there's a reason why they get played.
But people like those songs. That's what they want to hear. But I think the point that Bert's trying to make is if those songs were on the radio and did get the support, people will probably love those too. But they don't. They'll play it. They'll play it strong for maybe. And this is talking about like a Motley Crue or Def Leppard. They'll play it strong for maybe a week or two, and then that's it. Yeah. You don't hear from it ever again. I don't know why. Just if the song is that great, just push it, man. I mean, people. I hate to say like people follow, but a lot of people do. They will follow what is played on their radio all the time. And if it's a great song, they won't turn the dial. They'll continue to listen to it. I don't care who or what it is. That's just how it is. I mean, if I hear
but who listens to the radio though?
I think
nobody
really.
They still do more
so?
than you know. Yeah, more than you know. Otherwise, these companies would all be folded.
Yeah, I mean,
I guess
we listen to it. We keep it on in our house when we get home from work. 6 o'clock, 6 to 9.
Listen, even Spotify, I'll let shit play because it'll play new stuff. And sometimes, you find, look how many bands we found on Spotify by just letting a playlist play afterwards.
Yeah. Well, you're right.
Yeah, same deal.
The last time I think I listened to the radio might have been around like 2005.
Right. Wow.
So I don't listen. Yeah, I don't listen to music on the radio.
Yeah.
If I have the radio on, it's like a baseball game that I can't get on the TV. That's about it.
You'd be surprised, Mike. You got a lot of guys that maybe work outside that will play it through their Bluetooth speaker, through an app or something, or
I just picture everybody using their phones. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I think in like in a commercial sense, like in work or whether guys work in a shop or something.
If you're in ShopRite, they're playing whatever station they're playing. I mean, it's just yeah. It ain't like personal because not everybody's home the whole time or gets a chance.
Some people, if they have an older car, they can't connect Bluetooth or whatever. They'll listen.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not blasting Wasp at work. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Not through the speaker.
Oh no, because that won't fit in with what you sell there.
Right.
Yeah. Oh no, can't play the Wasp.
Not
got
the
five
Wasp.
dildos on the shelf in front of me. No, we can't play with the Wasp.
But
the radio stations, they have the program directors, which they're pretty much all like MMR and all these stations. They're all owned by the same company. Across country, and they play the same songs. Whether is it
Clear Channel? I think, or they used to be Clear Channel.
I think it's like Beasley Media or something.
Beasley,
but they have. I think Clear Channel was one of them at one time. Whether you're in Philly or LA or Vegas or Dallas or Chicago, Detroit, they're pretty much all playing the same songs with the exception.
The only thing that's different is the DJ.
That's it.
Yeah. That's it.
Yeah. So I mean, don't even use a DJ anymore.
Even a guy like even a guy like Jackie, he can only play so much what he wants to play. You still got to stay in a format, right? So it's like,
I don't think, like him and Pierre, like they might have some power of maybe they could play one or two songs an hour.
Yeah.
Their choice. I don't know. It might be different with them.
Well,
maybe not. Maybe not. I don't know.
I remember like listening to MMR back in like the late 80s and stuff, and you heard a lot of different stuff on that channel, man. Like there was a good mix. I mean, it was mostly older stuff, but every once in a while you'd hear some newer stuff.
Yeah, it seemed like MMR was more like the kind of more of like the rock station, and YSP was
play the heavier stuff.
Seemed like the hard rock was like a little more harder
Yep.
stuff.
So
But you could go like maybe 4 or 5 hours and not hear the same song, and it's like now it's like you can't go like a half hour. Like at least when I tuned off in like 2005, it was like every hour you're hearing like at least the same 5 or 6 songs.
Yeah. So
or you're gonna hear the same band.
So let's before we give our synopsis to wrap this up here, I'm going to say because I still was talking about what could have been. My personal opinion, hearing all the Heaven's Edge stuff from the first stuff till now, I think that's probably the best written song that they have. I honestly believe that it's the best written song. You can't really put a date on it. It don't sound like it's old. It don't sound like it's new. It just sounds like a good song. I think it's pretty timeless sounding, I think. All right, so let's hit it with the synopsis. Damo, for the whole record, what's your synopsis there, buddy?
Great. I mean, it's if you're going to put out your first record, full record, freshly written songs in 30 years, it better be damn good. And I think they prove that here. It's a pretty freaking great record. If you like the debut, if you like the stuff on the second one, it's perfect. It's like the next step. And one thing I liked is that there wasn't any of the the baby rocking in my pants type song,
right? Well, they
because
progressed with their age.
They matured.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Yeah. When you're late 50s, 60s, come on, you can't do that, which they didn't. So it makes it even better,
Yep. Mike D, what's your synopsis?
Title of the album is Get It Right, man. They got it right on this. And I don't understand the album cover fully, but the only thing I could think of is that guy's got a high kick going on, man. There, you got to get that right because you could do a lot of damage to yourself if you get it wrong.
Can you do that, Bert? Can you do a kick like that?
Once upon a time. I'm only might get a half an inch off the floor, but I'll do it.
You could fall on your ass. You could split your pants, split your nutsack. A lot of things can go wrong doing that.
Yeah. For me, this was a real enjoyable album. Every song was good. Some were friggin' great. I'm happy for these guys. They definitely deserve the success they got coming. They should have got it the first time. I went back and listened to the debut record, and this is just as good, if not better. I mean, I had 30 years to see the first one, and the first one's really, really good. But this is, like Dame said and Mike said, it's the next step. They're writing the right stuff at the right time. It still sounds like Heaven's Edge. It does, but it sounds like Heaven's Edge with all the knowledge and the changes. It sounds like guys who went from their 20s to their 50s or 60s. So it's weathered. It's good. You know what I mean? It's the writing really good. Perfect record for the perfect time for them. And I just hope that people who maybe don't listen to that genre, don't put it in a box and they give it a legit shot, especially a couple of those singles, like that what could have been needs to get on the radio station and just needs to get fucking played and let it breathe and see what happens. So perfect album for this band. Great record. We gave it an 8.13, which falls into our really, really good category. So which is good. It's a high rating. So these guys are playing all over. Not all over, but they played a couple times, more than they were. They got a show coming up in August. So I'm sure we'll do a little promo with that or something like that to push it. And that's it. Mixtapes and tasty cakes. We'll see you guys next week.